Hey there, happy Friday, folks. And it is a holiday weekend in Canada, so happy long weekend for those who get it. All right, so I haven't touched on the hero of the month or the weapon of the month yet, and there's also two new heroes in here because there was Whack from last month and there is Sidestep from this month, so I thought I'd go over those briefly. All right, let's start with the lance head. Now, I like this accuracy bonus. Increases the chance of hitting enemies with dodge or while hero is blinded. It's a nice bonus property, especially with how much dodge goes off when you're hitting in war on those defenses. Like, it's pretty crazy, and there's lots of Ragnaroks out there. On the yellow heroes, the overpowered yellow heroes, and well, some of them aren't even overpowered either, but it's just crazy the amount that it will go off. The dodge will go off both with tiles and specials. Like literally, you could throw, let's say Nima's tank, you could throw 3 purple at her, and 2 of them will miss because she dodges them. It's like how that percentage doesn't even work out right. But anyway, you can argue till you're blue in the face with support, and they'll tell you it's working properly. I don't think so. We're not dumb enough to fall for that line, but whatever. So this is kind of a counter to it. This is why I would like some more master weapons in both my accounts if I ever, can land one. Yeah, it's hard when you're free to play. You're just relying on the coins that you win, which is fine too. I could get lucky one of these times. And I actually did get a lance head. I can't remember what account it was in, but so I was very happy about that. Haven't been able to level it yet though because I just don't have parts. But I think it might be in this alt account here that I'm in. So it's a nice feature to have. So great for offense, especially if there's a hero where an explosion maybe it won't move them to the next bracket, like breakpoint, because Coyote on the explosion, because he's at 48, is it? Super. That's, you want the explosion on him, but then you'd want this on somebody who attacks, right? So it's a very interesting property. I'd like to see more of it. Now, 30% armor damage, that isn't bad either, considering that they have incorporated armor a lot more. So I don't think overall this weapon is too bad to have. The only armor we used to see back in the day, in the beginning, was from like Crockett or Anastasia or Haruto, and now there's a lot more heroes that give armor out, like Ramhorn, Unicorn. There's all kinds of them, right? So we do see that come into play a heck of a lot more, which is nice for all these weapons that do have armor damage on them. And it's not a bad attack stat at 234, so I'm definitely going to level mine as soon as I've got parts for it. Alright, let's take a look at Aviana, Falcon Force Commander. So 1501 for health. I don't think that's too bad. 717 both for attack and defenses. So that seems pretty well balanced to me actually, which is good. So Fury of the Falcon. Charge speed's 44, so she just needs to get to 50. So the Magnum, that's the blue speed weapon. That will put her over that 50 breakpoint, so she'll be the higher end of average, which is good. Oh, and here's another one that adds armor for all allies. And she's not just going to do that. She's going to do 49 attack for 3 turns and 49 defense for 3 turns. So very nice. Very nice. She kind of seems like a combination of both Coyote and Anastasia here, really. He does the defense for 3 turns, and she does armor, healing and armor. All allies reflect new status ailments for 3 turns. This effect can't be cleared, so that's awesome. Now, when I look at her, I really do see a War Machine fighter more than anything. Because that's quite the buffs to give to the team. So you could certainly attack a Red War Machine and juice her up with some energy drinks and to set her off first so she gets... So the armor starts protecting the team. So yeah, more than anything, I think she's a good War Machine fighter. Would she be on defense? I don't know. She actually looks like more offensive based to me, for sure. And doing the attack up for 3 turns, like that's that's from what's her name? The wedding one, the Jilted Bride, which I have in my lineup, which I can't remember the name of right now. Clara. I wanted to call her Kayla. I knew that wasn't right. So that's a very interesting special. Like, really, she's got some of Coyote in her, some of Clara, and some of Anastasia. And it seems very well balanced. Not overpowering at all. But I don't know that I'd use her on defense. Maybe as... She might do well as a left flank. I don't know. Has anybody got her leveled up and tried her out on defense? I'd be interested to hear any comments about that. But yeah, if I had her, I would definitely level her up. It gives you a lot more depth and some more choices for sure. Could certainly use her in my main account. I haven't been able to land an Anastasia yet, so. Alright. Sidestep, I don't want to talk about you right yet. All these yellows. It's crazy. Alright, let's talk about this guy. So it is nice to see that they're releasing some decent heroes in the other colors now, but it's still too much yellow. It's just way too much yellow. Because I think both Aviana and Whack have their uses for sure. And they both look like decent heroes to me. So his defenses are low. Wow, look at that. It's probably because of all that his special does, though, and that he's fast. So he's a Neon City head basher. Really? You want to bash heads with those whacking poles? No, never would have guessed. Head bash swing. Oh, hilarious. So he's at 60. So he already is fast. There's not many options. There's only the one option for speed, and it's, 6 points? That would make him 66. I can't remember the break point that far up. Is it 67 or 68? So I don't think he'd quite make it there. Now, support class hero, when a lot of those go to the other, like, Verminous and, well, Jainsaw's a support class too, for that matter, and I have mine on Jocasta, I think, in my main account, and I don't know who I have for support here. I'd imagine people would, especially if they're going to use them all the time, they'd be using that. Oh yeah, I got Quilla. Quilla's got a bunch of mine on here. I needed another cleanser, which was good, and I have to use her for that support class talent to get the emblems when that comes around. Yeah, because I don't have a lot for support class, but I sure could probably use him. I'd imagine I have quite a few emblems for him personally. Alright, where'd you go? Where'd you go, Wackadoodle? It's Wackadoodle. Alright, so 320 damage to the target and nearby enemies. It's a nice chunk, and I'd imagine that both the health and the defense are a little bit lower because of this amount of damage that he can do and the fact that he's already fast to begin with. So that's a little bit of a balancing point, and that attack at 808 is pretty high. The target and nearby enemies receive 30 damage for 4 turns when hit by a stronger element. Oh well, there you go. That's alright. So if you manage to get, say, douchefish in there, and he has that damage for 4 turns on him, then the purple tiles underneath him. That's awesome, actually. It's a nice counter for something like that. When you're going up against a strong hero like that, the target nearby enemies get minus 39 defense for 4 turns, so that's even better. Removes buffs from the target and nearby enemies. That's good. We don't have enough buffs dispellers. I'm glad to see that. I he's this seems pretty awesome. I can't say as last month when he came out I paid too much attention to the special because I was just busy, run off my feet. And yeah, so I hadn't really read it through properly, so this seems really decent. Covers a lot of ground. So if you were to put emblems on him, now I know I always say if they're an attacker, go attack route, but considering how high that attack special already is at 808, or that attack part of his stats here, I would be thinking I'd want to buff this up so he lasts longer. Yeah, I usually don't go that route at all, but considering all that he does, he would be somebody that you would want to keep alive as long as possible. So if I had him, I would probably consider going these two routes, the health and the defense. That's very interesting special. I like that actually. So this is nice to see. I think I like this one better than Aviana's. And I have seen him a couple times on defenses. They had put him on the wing, and and I must say, a little jerk got to hit me a couple times before I could get him. Before I could get to him, since he was on the wing. So that's not bad to have an AoE hitter that's fast on the wing like that. So I'd say he's useful for both offense and defense for sure. So that's great. I like that special. Well, we'll see if I get enough coins. Maybe I will. Maybe he'll pop out. You never know. Right now, I'm saving them till I'm done season 2 because I hardly ever work on it, to be quite honest, because I really hate the tile play myself. All right, so let's check out another overpowered yellow. Is this the same family as... Don't tell me that's the same family as Douchefist and Hypernova, because Douchefist and Hypernova, Hypernat, are the same darn family. And they did it again. It's the same family. Ah, you guys are brutal. Brutal in these decisions. She should be red. She should be a red. We need some great reds like this. Oh, what a joke. Speaking of Douchefist, yep, same vigilante family. Which family is whack? Not vigilante, I bet. I just don't know why they can't spread the love out there, and make them all different. So he has charge generation too if you have other hacker. Hey, that's great. That just makes this special even better. That's really cool, actually. Alright, so let's go back to Sidestep here. What is it? It is attack. See, that's another reason why Hypernat and Douchefist have that synergy that they do. And then you add her to it. Like, we're going to end up seeing nothing but 3 yellow and 2 purple war teams soon enough at the rate we're going. It's really crazy. Just out of curiosity, what is the unicorn? Ah, so she's hacker. Could team her up with Whack there and get that charge generation. That's cool. Okay, so anyway, I'll get off that topic. There are some really neat combinations you can make, but some of them are just overpowered. They're not balanced out whatsoever right now, and it's a real disappointment because it does take a lot away from the game, the fun of the game. All right, so Neon City Sprinter, she's a dodging burst. So she's already fast, and I think it's 67 or 68. So again, this is just like Douche Fist, where any speed weapon in yellow will help bump him into the next category. So, like, we need super fast yellows like that. 385 damage to the target, minor damage to nearby enemies. So that's a good percentage. Her stats actually seem overall balanced. She does have a bit higher of a defense as here. So at least the stats are balanced that way. The attack bypasses defensive buffs, including counterattacks. So I don't know how many heroes have this written in a special. I kind of think there's one other one. But I can't think of who it is offhand. This is actually the Sharpshooter talent grid. Now they're writing it right into specials. So the Sharpshooter does this. I think you can get it up to, 21% maybe or something. Actually, I could tell you. Oops. Because the Sharpshooter is, I got some on this guy. Very interesting that they've started writing that into specials. So 5, 10, 15, 20. 25% chance there on his talent grid. I actually think it says it right in here too. There you go. Because it kind of tracks it on this talent tab here, where you can track it as you go if you need to. Bypasses defensive buffs when attacking counterattacks and deals an additional 50% piercing damage to HP if the target has armor. So that's nice. That was really nice to see. So you can just kind of see what the talents do add to the hero there. Alright, so I don't know why they would do that to write it in a special like that, but we're probably going to see that a lot more now. So your counterattacks for Ayumi aren't going to work with this one. And it was nice to see some 5-star counterattackers actually, because there's Tamika as well. And now these heroes just bypass it and it's not going to matter, that part of their special, when they go off. So very interesting. It automatically does 21% damage to the target when their charge is full. Yeah, and reduces the charge by 50% for 3 turns. Ugh, yike. So I would so like to see her in a different color. I really think she should be red. So, you could take a yellow against a yellow. Some of this would be very countering for something like Verminous and Douche Fist. But she's yellow. I just don't get it. The caster gets 16 dodge for 3 turns. Okay, another piece that she really doesn't need. I don't know if they're trying to make Douche Fist's usage go down more through putting heroes like this out in the same color yellow, but you know what? People are gonna stick with Douche Fist even though this is a decent special for sure. And that's why they really need to branch out in other colors and stop doing this for yellows. If somebody doesn't have Douche Fist, then yeah, she'll crop up. I bet you anything she'll crop up if they don't have the original overpowered yellow. So, decent hero for sure. I just think it's unbalancing to the game once again to release a hero like this especially to make her the same family as the other two, Hypernat and Douche Fist. Like, they already have enough synergy that this doesn't need to be added to the mix. But you know what? We'll see teams like that. It is what it is. We can't really control that part of it, unfortunately. But yeah, it is good to still see some new heroes in that coming out. And hopefully they come out with a Reflect Blue challenge event. That's what I would really like to see, because I'm bored with the other challenge events at this point. So Yeah, it's great that they're adding new heroes, but we need more stuff to do and more variety. I am so bored of the same ones because we've been playing it for so long too. Like Grand Heist came out first, and it's been years now. It's been years. We need some different ones. So, and I hope you guys are saving up for POV because it starts soon. So the 22nd, I believe it is, and then it's a short turnaround. So for the free to play and the cheap to play players, make sure you're saving all these for when it's on. I only have 2 epic weapon tickets. Probably only one here. Yeah, because I used them all up on the seasonal. But yeah, that and it's a good thing too because having it shorter because we'll get more 5-star promo mats and more emblems into the mix quicker. But yeah, it will be harder to get reach some of the goals. So we'll see what happens with that in a couple days. Okay, folks, I'll cut it there. Happy Friday once again, and I hope you enjoy your long weekend if you're on one.